ways that you would have tackled that?
So what I would have done
Your
is
go-to strategy.
you know, what I like to do is, you know, sometimes I'll go through and place the bombs and stuff. I like to kind of get right into the action. And I like to level up on my stamina and my focus. In this situation, I think it's actually a little bit more important than health. You can, if you pull it off properly, you can go unscathed if you can stay ahead of them, and you can use focus mode to go in and selectively target them. But it's just really cool to run through, and you feel like, you know, Jason Bourne, kind of, hey, I could do this, I could do that, I could shoot this thing. If I vault through that, go over there, get some ammo, do this, and then I'll run back by my bike, and then I'll top off the ammo, and then I'll go back and I'll draw them around this way. It's just, it feels like you're in the decathlon. I should have jumped on the
bike. I should have, when I got him pissed off, I should have run around, jumped on the bike, and gotten out of there.
Yes, I've done that as well.
Really got to
Jeff's a better player than me, so I use the bombardment strategy, which is where I stock up on all the attractor grenades that I can carry, all the napalm Molotovs, all the pipe bombs, and I'll just lob those into the pit, and then just keep lobbing until I run out. And that'll take out 3/4 of the horde.
How many freakers do you think we were seeing there?
250.
Yeah, it's one of the baby hordes.
Yeah, it's a
one of the
baby
smaller
horde.
hordes.
So what I'm thrilled about this is that, you know, 2 years ago when we revealed it, it was our 500 unit horde. That's the same horde you were fighting today. It was kind of our simplest system to put in the game, believe it or not, and it just comes straight at you.
Yeah.
And it'll go around and over and through things, but it's so simple and yet so robust. But it's real, and I'm glad that you got a chance to see.
No, it was.
Kind of prove
It's like nothing I've ever played before, and I can't wait to get in there and really get familiar with the controls and with the inventory system. There's a lot to take in here. I love games with that kind of depth and those tactical options. So, thanks guys for swinging by.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
We have a lot more coming for you guys here live at E3. Stay tuned.
PlayStation.
The president has been assassinated. We need to get you out of there. This is what you trained for. Let it kick in. I'm pushing forward. Keep going. You got this covered. Enemy ahead. Cover!
PlayStation.
Hello? Anybody there? Something's not right. Hey, relax. Everything okay? You can't be here. I'm putting you under arrest. Stay back, sir! I've got this! Officer, you need help? What are you doing? Get off! No! Get off of me! Jesus Christ.
Money's in my account. Always a pleasure.
Attention, all citizens. Due to the citywide outbreak.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.
Whatever it takes to save this city.
Surprised you made it this far.
Need info on my extraction. Survival's your responsibility.
God damn it.
Will you help me?
Of course. It's an impressive display of strength. But we never meant for this to happen.
It's coming. It's coming back!
Sam Porter Bridges. The man who delivers. Tears. Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Want to come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
The silent, faulty feeling. The silent fault. The silent, faulty feeling. The silent fault. I sigh and fall to the ceiling. I sigh and run to the kneeling. A silence for the feeling. Ran out of all the meaning. I ran out of. It's hard to fall believing. It's hard to fall. So many men are losing while out there doing the proving. It's no surprise he's doing it.
Headed into town. Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The time flow fast forwards whatever it touches, but it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Chiralium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
A crypto byte a day keeps the time fall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Shall we?
Let's get to work, kid. Good. Lights out.
Walk through.
Scared of a little shock?
You're going down. Let's try to keep it classy, shall we? Ha-ha! Oh no! Good luck!
You can surrender now.
It's showtime!
Let the magic begin.
PlayStation.
Hey, welcome back. We're here live at PlayStation's E3 booth, and we've got a lot more games to show off today. And I'm very excited about this next one. We're going to check out the latest on The Walking Dead, the final season. That is one of my favorite series out there, especially in the narrative category. Honored to be joined by Kent Mundell from Telltale.
Hello.
And the voice of Clementine herself, Melissa Hutchinson.
Hi.
So good to have you on.
Thank you.
And Kristen Titus as well.
Hi.
Right, glad to have you here. You're also a huge fan of this series.
I am a massive, massive fan of this series. I'm like so excited to be here with you.
So, I mean, you guys are really putting it out there. You're just like, it's the final season. Like, that's exciting, I think, you know. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to position it that way.
So, since the beginning, like, the first season of The Walking Dead set up the arc of Clementine, who was, trained by Lee to survive. And the seasons that have been since then have all still been about Clementine's arc. And so this is going to finally bring a satisfactory conclusion to the character of Clementine since she started in the first season.
That's great. So it's the culmination of this story that's been rolling out now for, this will be the 4th and final season. Melissa, you have actually voiced Clementine the entire time.
I have, yeah.
So how has your sort of approach shifted from playing a young girl to a much older woman?
Well, besides obviously the vocal change,
Sure.
she now sounds more like I do in range, but when the game started in season 1, Clementine was just innocent. I mean, little girl, and your role as Lee, the playable character, was to protect her. And through seasons 2, 3, I won't spoil too much on what happens. For those who haven't played it, that'd be crazy if you haven't. Kind of moves organically through seasons 2, 3, 4. Now she's this super badass, capable survivalist teenager, and kind of full circle in a sense that now it's her role to protect AJ.
And she's kept that hat the whole time.
She's kept that hat.
You can tell that hat's been through some wear.
I was going to say that hat has
like D is like flapping off it.
Yeah, but she still has the hat. So
this is a very different look here right off the top. I mean, I've not seen sort of action like this from the series before.
Yeah, the final season has sequences of unscripted combat where the players get to choose in a more mechanically engaging way how to engage with the zombies.
Cool. And I mean, visually this looks excellent. What do you think, Kristen?
I mean, I'm completely blown away by the visuals. This is probably the most realistic that this has ever looked. Like, going back from the first season to here is mind-blowing. To be able to see this big change. I'm super excited for this too, because Clementine has now sort of become a mentor, not a mentor, but she's looking over somebody like someone used to do for her. So now she has AJ, she's looking out for him and trying to protect him. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's going to be like?
Yeah, so like you're saying, basically Clementine, who learned all the lessons from Lee, now has someone of her own to protect. And she's done an excellent job at the start of the season about teaching him how to survive in the zombie apocalypse. They're many years into it now, and both she and AJ know all the tricks and stuff to deal with a world full of zombies. And
yeah, because AJ was born into this world.
Exactly. AJ was born in this world and didn't know a world before there were zombies at all. So he's a very different character to raise than Clementine was in the first season.
So here we're also seeing inside, it's that she finds a school and a group of other kids in this world that there's no adults around.
Yeah, so the thrust of the season is Clementine has been traveling in the apocalypse for so long, and she's been on the road, and she's trying to finally find someplace where she might be able to settle down and call home. And she finds an abandoned boarding school for troubled youth. Yeah. It's a society of children which has no adults, so there's no one hung up about how the world used to work.
Yeah.
So this might be a real chance for her to make something that lasts.
Tell you what.
Is she going to be moving into a leadership role here, or is she sort of just getting her wits about her?
She's really capable, so people will start to look to her for examples of how things should go. But how that develops, you'll have to play the season to find out.
Yeah.
So we're seeing some classic dialogue choices here. And it's definitely familiar to me as somebody who's played so many games in the series. But are we still going to have these sort of tough decisions that players are going to have to make?
Yes, absolutely. The season will have nail-biting choices that'll make you really question what you're doing, who you think should live and who should get hurt, and what lessons you want AJ to take from that as well. It's interesting that Clementine is kind of coming almost full circle, sort of stepping into Lee's shoes from the original series, which is a very interesting choice. And what made you want to kind of take this character in this direction? I think, like you said, it's full circle. It's kind of a natural direction for her character to go. She was taken care of by someone who taught her, and so as she's gotten older and learned to survive better, she's trying to pass those lessons on to someone else. Because it's something that sort of represents, passing knowledge on like that is one of the only things that represents a kind of permanence in the Walking Dead world.
So one thing I got to ask, and you probably won't tell me anything, but the series is sort of famous for bringing back characters, you know, in surprising ways. So without spoiling anything, might we see a familiar face or two?
I can confirm we will see a familiar face or two in the season, and I will not tell you who.
What else are you proud of? I mean, what are you like particularly engaged with in development here that you really want people to know about?
Well, I come specifically from the cinematic angle of this thing. I've been working as a director at Telltale for ages, and I think the work our animators and our cinematic team have done make the Telltale games, and particularly Walking Dead Final Season, really stand out from other games of this type. It looks like a really well-shot movie, and everything is carefully crafted to give the player this experience that'll make them feel it the most that they possibly can. So I think the visual presentation of it and the cinematography in particular is something that's really special about our games.
Melissa, as an actor, what does Clementine sort of represent for you?
Oh man, that goes deep. I mean, it's been such a huge part of my life. You know, I think I can speak for all of us who worked. There's actually a few people here worked on season 1. We had no idea. You know, we knew we were going in and we were doing voiceover for an amazing game. That was known the second you saw the script, but just how well this game has done and how it's impacted my life as just not just as an actor, but you know, traveling and developing this insanely awesome fan base, whom I'm so eternally grateful for. I mean, this is a fan-driven game. Literally, your choices are what drives this game. So I'm just honored to be Clementine, and you know, of course, I'm sad it's coming to an end, but I feel like it's in a good span. I'm trying to wrap my head around. I'm going to need like a serious support staff on that last recording session. But it's just been such an amazing part of my journey. So, yeah.
One thing I want to point out here is we're seeing some overhead camera that is completely different for this series, right?
Yeah. So the camera for this system for this season is an orbital cam. So you get a third-person look, so you really get to kind of dig into the environments. And there's a big emphasis on exploration and actually looking around 3D spaces.
It looks like we're moving more than we ever really have before.
Yeah, exactly. It's less of the fixed traditional nav camera type stuff from the previous adventure gaming seasons, and is more of a modern orbital camera that allow you to explore the environments in great detail. And the environments look amazing, so you're going to want to explore the hell out of them.
And the combat, it's no longer just QTEs anymore.
It is no longer just QTs. There's sections of unscripted combat where you get to choose how you engage zombies in a sort of higher level of danger and difficulty we've had in the game before. And in addition to cinematic sequences of QTs for like really flashy stuff.
Could you tell us who this character we're seeing here is, this blonde gentleman?
Yeah, so this mulleted individual is Marlon, who is the leader of the abandoned boarding school that Clementine finds. He's kind of keeping this group of kids together in the apocalypse, and he's going to be a really important character for the season in this episode.
Interesting. And where is Clementine right now? Like, where is she mentally? Where is she, you know, where does the game sort of show her starting off?
The game opens with Clementine and AJ on the road, and they're kind of really at the wit's end of how long they've been doing this kind of journey. They're really good at it, but they're running low on food, and they've been continuously trying to find places to survive, and just nothing's been working out. So Clementine is really kind of getting tired and sort of almost at the end of her rope, despite the fact that she knows how to live in this world, and so they're really looking for a new opportunity.
So it's kind of about establishing roots and trying to find, you know, a family of sorts, a surrogate family, or create one.
Exactly, and Clementine's had tons of those fail around her, as Walking Dead groups tend to do throughout all the other seasons. So this season has her best chance at something that might last and be more permanent in this kind of world.
And it takes a bit of bravery, you know, to reinvest in something like that after it hasn't worked out so many times. So
yeah, it really speaks to Clementine's resilience as a survivor and everything she's picked up from what she learned from Lee, that she's still trying. She's never stops trying.
That's right. Game is looking really, really good. I mean, this is a visual leap in a major way. Yeah, I can't wait. So when is this coming out?
This comes out August 14th for $19.99.
Okay.
And for fans who maybe just played season 1 and haven't like caught up, if you go to WalkingDeadTheGame.com and pre-order it, you'll get the Walking Dead collection for free.
That's a good
which
deal.
is all of the previous seasons, including spin-offs.
It's a lot.
So that's the absolute. It's an amazing deal and a good way to catch up if for some reason you haven't checked in for a while.
That is a hell of a deal on a truly important series in gaming history. I mean, the first season particularly, I mean, really grabbed me. Have you tweaked the development process over the years? I mean, I remember talking to some of the team from the first season or two, and they were sort of treating it like a TV show, like they'd kind of write it in between chapters, or is it more, do you take sort of a more unified approach to the development now?
The season still has episodes, so it's still like each piece of it is being made in concurrence, but we've made sure, probably better than we have before, to plan the ending and the arc of the whole season the entire time. So we know how it's going to end, but each individual piece of it is still being worked on sequentially. So it's still kind of how we were doing it before, but I think we have a really solid vision for how it's going to go.
And you've picked up a lot of tricks along the way.
Yeah, we've been at this a while, so we know the pitfalls and things to avoid at this point.
Nice.
Outstanding. Well, hey, Walking Dead, the final season.
Final season.
It's coming. It's coming in August.
It's coming August 14th.
14th. Wow, you got a date and everything. You guys are serious.
They made sure I memorized that.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for sharing all of that. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Melissa, for coming by and for gracing us with an iconic performance.
Thank
in
you.
video
I'm
games.
honored to be here. Thank you very much.
I'll be playing. I can tell you
thanks,
that.
everyone.
And I think we got some folks here who will be playing as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a lot more in store today. We'll be back in just a minute or two with more games.
Back online.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
The moment you have all been waiting for is finally upon us. Welcome, one and all, to the Sprint Vector Championship Intergalactica. I have gathered here today the galaxy's most skilled contestants to compete for your viewing pleasure. Did they come here for vengeance? Do they fight for love? Do they hope to earn their freedom? Is it for money? No matter what the prize may be, they all come here to win.
You better stay back there.
I didn't make this course too hard for you, did I?
Only the best survive.
From downtown.
You're blowing it.
Through, baby.
Homie, this is my day.
Win, lose, as long as we get the ratings.
That's pretty good.
Welcome back to PlayStation Live from E3, everybody. Justin and Kristen here, talking to Carl Lue, producer at Ubisoft Singapore, about Skull and Bones.
Arr.
Arr. Okay, I got my bad pirate impression.
You had to get that out.
I had to do it. So, Skull and Bones, this is something that got revealed a while ago, but we got a really, a much better look at it this week at E3. Can you give us kind of the broad strokes? What is Skull and Bones?
Yeah, so here at E3, we're showcasing the hunting grounds, which is the essence of Skull and Bones. It's a shared world with 10 players in it, and you engage in whatever you want. You go out into that world seeking to become the pirate that no empire can take down. So you do that by taking on merchants, warships, or other players.
Cool. And this is, to kind of make the comparison nice and early, this is very reminiscent of the naval battle stuff in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I was a huge fan of. Can you tell us a little bit about how you took kind of the skeleton of that and expanded it into this full game?
Absolutely. So at Ubisoft Singapore, we actually created the naval gameplay for Assassin's Creed all the way back in Assassin's Creed 3. And as early as that, and especially, of course, with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, we saw that the naval gameplay was very popular, and a lot of people were asking, what would this be like in a multiplayer setting? What would it be like to play a full pirate game? So that's something we've been dreaming of working on for years, and we're very happy to share that with the players here at E3 this year.
Great, well, it looks fantastic. We're seeing some footage here now. Feel free to call anything out as you see it if it stands out to you. But yeah, can you tell us, you mentioned the multiplayer. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the multiplayer functions in Skull and Bones?
Yeah, absolutely. So the multiplayer it's the core of our game. It's an online game, so you're always in a shared world. And when you enter the hunting grounds, you start in the hideout, you'll prepare for your hunt, you choose what ship you want to play, you'll check what the conditions are like using the fortune teller, and once you go out into the world, you'll use your spyglass, the crow's nest, and you'll see what's around you, and sometimes you'll come across another player. And when you spot another player, that moment is really interesting, because you're probably a few hundred meters away from each other, and you have to make a choice. Do I want to ally with this person? Do I want to take them on? You can very easily send a quick in-game invite, say, hey, do you want to join my group? We can take on some bigger challenges like the fort or some really difficult escorts. And so maybe you'll join up and take on other players or bigger challenges, or perhaps he'll reject your invite and you're going to have to fight each other.
You mentioned the spyglass, and that got me thinking. It must be really interesting to try and balance kind of an accessible game experience with the very analog, manual feel of captaining a pirate ship. How do you balance those two things, and where do you draw the line between making things too kind of opaque to the player?
Yeah, with Skull and Bones, we really want to push the skill cap and make sure that it's all about deep, rich gameplay, which really exposes how good a player is, and that's how successful they'll be within the hunt. So scouting things like the crow's nest and the spyglass need to be used to collect information and know how you want to attack a foe. Another important part is the wind. So we have wind gameplay, so you really have to pay attention on what direction is the wind coming, and then align your ship accordingly to make sure you can get those attacks in the right way.
Can you tell us a little bit about the strategy beyond just the immediate combat, but you can also sneak with your ship? There's ways that you can sort of move around to sort of hide and cloak yourself. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. That's something we've shown in the gameplay video is the idea of deception. So in the world, there will be things you can interact with, and some of those include shipwrecks. And if there's a sunk ship, for example, in the trailer, we have there's a Portuguese merchant there, so you can go up to it, take its sails.
They don't need those sails anymore.
They don't need the sails. Those guys have been
Pirates
sunk.
aren't completely honest, upstanding folks.
No, there is no honor amongst thieves, and pirates are certainly the thieves of the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so once you're disguised as a Portuguese merchant, you can sail right past their warships or even past the fort. And that, in the trailer, we showed that the fort was a very powerful defense unit, so to get past it, deception was a good way to do that.
Right. And then even in the multiplayer, you know, say you do decide to ally, our two pirate ships decide to work together, we might turn against each other in the end anyway?
Yeah, sometimes when you've taken down a big loot and it's just too delicious to share, then perhaps you'll turn on each other, yes.
Oh my gosh, no honor.
It's a bit risky though.
Yeah, of course. It is risky, and the world will react to how you behave. So if you are attacking a lot of ships and sinking a lot of other other ships on the ocean. There will be bounty hunters coming after you. Yourself will become a very attractive target.
So on that note, what's the general progression loop look like in this game? What are players going to be kind of chasing as they're playing Skull and Bones?
Yeah, so the objective is to become the pirate that no empire can take down. You start as an upstart pirate in the Indian Ocean. You've rejected the king's pardon in the Caribbean. There's no more piracy in the Caribbean. Piracy is dead in the Caribbean. Long live piracy in the Indian Ocean. So you've come across the Indian Ocean and you're looking to become that pirate king. And how you do that is you build a fleet of ships, you upgrade them, you get new weapons, and you become stronger and stronger by collecting loot in the world and going back to your hideout and upgrading your equipment.
And how does the single-player experience vary from the multiplayer experience?
It's an online game, so you're always in a shared world. So.
Okay, I see.
So it's just kind of like a seamless, like you can play single player, but you're inevitably going to be running into other players. And
yeah, because of the scouting tools, you can recognize when other players are around, and if you don't want to engage another player, you can be like, hey, there's nothing to see here, I'm going to go this way.
I don't want no trouble. Can you tell us a little bit more about the customization options in the game and about the different ways you can outfit your ship?
Absolutely. So there's gameplay customization, such as the weapons. So that's going to be the main thing. You can choose different types of long-range weapons, such as mortars or rockets. The different types of cannons you put for your broadside or your front shots. Some cannonballs, like the carronades, they're focused on sail damage, which slows down the opponents, which is really good for chasing them. You can even customize your crew. They will give you added buffs to your gameplay experience, and that's also something that you can take down on the enemy ship. You can take their crew out to make them a bit weaker.
Oh, cool. So is there like on-foot gameplay? Is it mostly, ship-based, or is there kind of a balance?
It's a game based as a pirate captain at the helm of your ship. There is a hideout where you can walk around between your hunts and plan your next hunt, gather intel, customize your ship, upgrade things. But once the core of the gameplay is indeed you at the helm of your ship.
Yeah, you mentioned that the kind of the hub area. Can you tell us a little bit more about the things that you can do there?
Yeah, sure. So that's where you have the shipwright. You'll have that's where you'll be able to recruit different crew members. The fortune teller is there, where you can talk to Taljid, our fortune teller. He will let you know what state the world is in. So you can come to the same map on different fortunes, and the conditions can completely
Doesn't
change.
it feel kind of like cheating to ask a fortune teller what you should be doing in a video game? I don't know.
Well, it's optional. If you want to take on the extra challenge, don't talk to Taljid and just go out in the world unprepared.
I'll probably cave and talk to the fortune teller.
Yeah, cool.
So can you tell us a little bit about just kind of the gameplay that we're seeing on the screen here? Just kind of describe what's happening.
Yeah, so here we see, this is the Royal Fortune being captained here, so that's the biggest, strongest player ship we have here at E3. That has it's a frigate with a huge amount of broadsides, so that's really powerful. Here we can see the density of this particular map. This is in a hostile takeover fortune, so that the Portuguese and the English are fighting at sea here, so that the pirates are often opportunistic, so you can come in there and try and take advantage of these two factions fighting each other.
You mentioned that ship was the most powerful one you have here. What's going to happen if a brand new player sets sail and encounters someone who's at like end game status? Is there like a disconnect there? How do you handle that?
That is something that we're actively looking at in our PvPvE world. How do we make sure it has a safe onboarding and make sure that all different play styles will be welcomed, and that's something we'll continue to look at.
Good to know that you're working on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got a couple ships squaring off here.
Yep, when you see the white sails, those are merchants. So as a pirate, those are like the prey that you're hunting to get the most loot. You can use your spyglass to identify what those merchants are carrying. And so if there's a certain type of commodity that you're seeking at that time, you can find that ship that you want and go after it.
I see.
Here we see the crew. They're manning the sails.
What kind of ship is your favorite so far?
We have three ships here at E3. We have the Royal Fortune, which we spoke about, the big frigate. Then there's the Black Horn, which specializes in ramming. That's my personal favorite. I like to get in close and nasty. You see it there in the front with a big front ram. That when you come close and you can really hit the ship hard and ideally transition straight into a boarding. Boarding is a high risk finishing move, which allow you to maximize your loot.
Got it.
And so I've got one more question for you before we let you go. What do you think is going to make Skull and Bones stand out as a unique entry in Ubisoft's lineup?
It's a really fascinating game. When we play it, we're amazed at how different we play it each time. That social experience of when you see another pirate out there, what are you going to do? Are you going to become allies? Are you going to take each other on? So allowing the player to find out what sort of pirate they are. And I'm sure our players will be surprised. They won't even know what type of pirate they were before they play the game.
I'll be nice. I'll be a nice pirate. I say that now.
You think that, yes, you think that. Once you play
That's what they all say when they get started.
the greed, we will make sure that you become greedy and then you make decisions you might later regret.
Is there a release date, or are you guys targeting anything in particular?
Yeah, we've mentioned a 2019 release date, and the game is available to play on the floor at the Ubisoft booth, so please come on over and check that out. And you can also get details of the live phases at the website skullandbonesgame.com.
Great. Anything else you want to say to the fans out there before we let you go?
Have a great E3. It's a wonderful time to be in the industry. We love video games.
All right. Applause for that.
Thank you.
Carl, Kristen, thank you so much for joining us. That is Skull and Bones. It's coming to PS4 in 2019. Stay tuned to PlayStation Live from E3 2018, as we'll have a lot more coming up.
One of the first formal studies of the phenomenon was at Harvard Medical School in the year 2000. Participants played the game for 7 hours each, spread over the course of 3 days. Remarkably, 63% of the participants, almost 2/3, reported seeing imagery from the game hours after they finished playing, often just as they were falling asleep. This fact on its own was newsworthy. But even more surprising, amnesic patients with brain damage that prevents them from forming new memories also reported seeing game imagery well after they'd finished playing. These participants were unable to recall having ever played the game, but their descriptions matched those of players with perfect memories. Blocks. They all saw blocks, falling through space, sometimes rotating or fitting neatly into empty spaces between other blocks. Some participants also reported seeing completed lines disappearing.
Every passing day, the winds grind stronger. Joy to light the way to keep the reminder. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us. Nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this life. Don't you forget it. We're all connected in this. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us. Nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this life. Don't you forget it.
The researchers gave this phenomenon a name.
PlayStation.
Hello Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We are still here in downtown Los Angeles with PlayStation live from E3, and I have a very exciting segment to get to today. Ryan and Meredith here, and we are talking to Shimbori-san, Minglu, and Tom, and we are talking about Dead or Alive 6. Gentlemen, welcome back to the program.
Thanks.
Welcome to Shimbori-san. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's talk, maybe Tom, let me start with you real quick.
Sure.
The original Dead or Alive came out in 1996. I mean, that's a long history for the series, and the series has been around for a long time. What's it like for you and for the team to work on something that has such a history?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, DOA has evolved over the years in so many different ways, and I think, especially in the last iteration with DOA 5, when we launched that, I think it really took on a new life of its own, and I think we've really energized our competitive community with that. I mean, DOA has its strengths, but I think we've really tapped into that, I don't know, I wouldn't even really say esports, but it's a competitive scene, which was very exciting for us. So with that in mind, we're so excited for DOA 6 because it's so much more of this new competitive mechanics coming into play, gorgeous stages, obviously attractive characters, and I can't wait for our director to reveal a lot of these details for you today. I mean, I would spill it all right now, but I want to give him a chance to speak.
Well,
so
let's give Shimbori-san a moment here and kind of share with us. Maybe let's talk a little bit about what's new and what's important in Dead or Alive 6.
DOA 6において、最も新しいそして大事な部分はどこだとお考えですか？
そうですね。まずこのゲームのね、テーマというかコンセプトがありまして、激闘エンターテインメントと呼んでます。
Well, first and foremost, the concept of this game is intense entertainment, intense fighting entertainment.
まあデッドライフ5のね、格闘エンターテインメントって名前だったんですけども、あの時よりももっともっと激しくキャラクターたちに戦ってほしいですし、もう男性だろうが女性だろうが、もう戦うフィールドに立ったからにはもう傷つけ合って戦い合うっていう姿を描きたいと思ってます。
Okay, so that's the same concept we had for like DOA 5 as well, but this time we'll take it to the next level, and it'll be the maximum intense fighting entertainment. And we'll take another new approach on the characters as they're in battles. You know, they'll sweat, they'll get wounded. You'll see their expressions, so it provides a different kind of feeling, and it gets more realistic that way.
It seems like after watching the trailer, and I think we can show some of that footage to our audience out there today, but we'll get to that in a second. It seems from the trailer that this is a much more serious take on these classic characters. They are, more realistic, more dressed for battle. I mean, does that kind of seriousness, does that nitty-gritty extend all the way through the design, and is that important for the whole studio?
その今回の、トレーラーから見るには非常に今まで以上に真剣で、そして現実的でもありますし、そういったフィーリングはゲーム全体を通してそういうふうにデザインされていますか？
そうですね。基本的に今回紹介したキャラクターは、忍者たちが多くて常に真剣勝負をしている人たちなので、もう命を懸けて戦っています。ファイターたちもそういう人が多いですね。ただいろんなキャラクターが出てきますから。キャラクターの個性に合わせた表現をしていこうと思っています。
Well, the short answer is yes. Well, this time around, you see a lot of ninjas in the footage. So, obviously they fight with, a real sword and, all serious. But then again, there are also other types of fighters, and we have a variety of different types of fighters in the game, so we'll try to bring life to all sorts of different amazing characters to you.
Oh, I haven't seen this footage yet, by the way. This looks new to me. I have not seen this. Yeah, tell me a little bit about either Tom or Shimbori-san. Tell me a little bit about the confirmed fighters that you guys are bringing to Dead or Alive 6. And
yeah, unfortunately, we can't talk about our whole roster of fighters.
I'm not saying you have to talk about all of them.
Give us one or two.
Just tell us who you've revealed so far and how they've changed for Dead or Alive 6.
You want? Yeah.
何
すでに確定されているキャラクターについて語っていただけますか？
そうですね。じゃあちょうど映ってるのが左のリュウハヤブサと右のジャン・リーですね。そのリュウハヤブサは忍者ガイデンでもおなじみの我々のスーパーヒーローです。
So on the screen we see on the left side Jan Lee and on the right side Ryu Hayabusa. And Hayabusa is just a legendary figure, I think, from Ninja Gaiden as well. And he's just Team Ninja superhero.
彼らね、チーム忍者を代表するキャラクターでもあって、今回デッドライブ6用に新しいコスチュームになっています。で彼は今映ってる彼はジャン・リーという格闘家ですね。ジークンドーの使い手です。
Okay, so we skipped the scene, but Hayabusa is again a very famous Team Ninja figure, but Jian Li, on the other hand, is a master of Jeet Kune Do.
で今ここに映ってる2人、左の女性がかすみというデッドライブの主人公となるキャラクターです。
And I guess they disappeared from the. Oh, here they are. Here's Hayate, another symbolic ninja of our franchises, and this is Kasumi, the heroine of the game.
今ハヤテをね、彼が英語で言ってくれたんですけど、この男の忍者はハヤテです。で、彼らは兄弟です。
And they are actually siblings.
I was interested to see that you brought back some of the arenas that fight back, where like your surroundings actually affect the gameplay. Will you also still keep where you break through barriers to get from one arena to the next?
今ステージのことを見てたんですけれども、その破壊するところとかそういったギミックは今回はどのようにデザインされていますか？
そうですね。まずね、デッドライブっていうのはただ殴り合って戦うだけではなくて、いろんな技があるんですけども、さらにステージにぶつけたりして周りのものをぶっ壊しながら戦っていくのが特徴になります。で、今作でもやっぱりステージからこう落ちて崖から落下したりとか床抜けて下にドーンと落ちたりとかっていうのはやる予定はあります。
So Dead or Alive, on one hand, we have this intense fighting between people, but also it is known for its interactive and destructible stages. Of course, since that's to be expected, we're going to have a lot of craziness and excitement in DOA 6 as well, such as falling from high places and other gimmicks.
めちゃめちゃね気持ちいいんで、ぜひ遊んでみてもらいたいなと思います。
It really makes player feel like exhilarated. It is really awesome. So I really want you guys to try it for yourself.
I will. And also, I have to say it, the visuals, I mean, the Dead or Alive series has been known for its visuals through the years. This seems to be no exception. Are you allowed to talk a little bit about the work you've done from a technical side, the work on the engine, work on the visual packages, and what the team has done there?
その DOA のビジュアルは有名ではありますけれども、今回も非常に綺麗に仕上がっていると思いますと。で、今回は技術的なことにはなるんですけれども、どういったところを刷新されたりしていますか？
そうね、まずね、やっぱり最初に言ったその激闘っていうところを描きたいっていうのがあったので、今までよりもシリアスな絵になるように工夫しています。
So just to truly represent what we have in mind, the intense fighting, the game engine, the engines are designed in such a fashion.
で私たちキャラクターをね本当に人間だと思って作っていますから、表情も豊かになりますし、この劇的なねライティングでこの暗いところと明るいところをしっかり見せてかっこいい絵を作ろうと思っています。
So we're trying to bring them as close to real people as possible. So on one hand, the dynamic lighting that really sets a milestone for our series in lighting the darker spots and the brighter spots, and also the ライティング以外何をおっしゃってましたっけ？ライティング以外は何ておっしゃってましたっけ？ And the facial distortion when they get punched in the face.
あとはこう殴った時に顔が痛そうに変わったり、その時に血も出ますし傷つきます、汚れます。ね、そういういろんな場面が見れるように会社の技術部門をねほとんど占領してこのタイトルに集中してもらってます。
Yeah, so just in order to represent the face distortion that he was describing, and you will see blood coming out of the mouth, and all the sweating, all the dirt. to make that happen, we've practically hijacked our technical support department in the company to make that happen.
I love it. I can't talk about a fighting game without asking sort of the quintessential question, which is how your studio approaches the balancing of each character and making sure that they each feel powerful, that they play well with each other, and that, you know, kind of everything feels fair and competitive. How does your team approach creating a balanced and competitive roster?
格闘ゲームを語る上でもう避けられない質問にはなるんですけれども、そのゲームのバランスとかフェアのところとかどういった調整そうですね。まずねバランスの前に今回初心者も入りやすいように新しいシステムを考えましたし、そこからそれだけではなくてデッドライブのコアな部分の一番核となる部分のしっかりした格闘ゲームっていう部分もやっぱり作り込みます。でそれは我々のスタッフの中にもうトッププレイヤーが何人もいますので、彼らにまず調整してもらって、でそれをもうちょっとカジュアルな人も遊べるようにアレンジしていくっていうのがまずやることです。 Okay, so for this installment, on one hand, we wanted to appeal to the casual gamers as well, so we made it very accessible to those players. On the other hand, we retained, you know, what people are familiar with, you know, the long-term fans. The core mechanics are still intact. We do have a few world-class players on our team, so you know they're just very meticulous about how they go about, you know, adjustment and whatnot. But on the other hand, in order to appeal to the casual gamers, there are also a lot of effort put into it.
でねただそれで作って終わりじゃなくて、格闘ゲームってもうお客さんの反応を見ながら意見聞いてバランス調整していくんですよ。まずね今度8月のエボでデッドアライブ6遊べるように用意してますから、そこに来た皆さんに触ってもらって意見もらいたいなと思ってます。
But that's not the end of the story. We need feedback from our fans to help us, you know, create a better game. Having said that, you know, we will be having playable demos for the fans who attend EVO this August. To test their reaction and get valuable feedbacks. So we hope a lot of fans can join us there.
Yeah, so let's just go ahead and confirm that. First playable demo at EVO for all our fighters.
Dead or Alive 6 at EVO in August, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. Hopefully we have some folks in the audience that are going to go to EVO and they can get their hands on. Gentlemen, Meredith, any last questions for the crew?
No, I was actually going to ask about the EVO Showdown, but you guys answered that question for me.
They did it.
Thank you.
We got to it.
Actually, I want to say something to...
Tom, go ahead.
Sorry. I want to give a shout out to our competitive fighters out in the FGC. I know that, you know, we had a bit of a scare and I kind of let you guys worry back at NEC in December. But I hope now all of this is explained, and I can't wait to see you guys in EVO in Vegas. And 2019 is going to be a very, very exciting year, man. So can't wait to see these guys.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. That's Shimbori-san, Minglu, Tom, talking about Dead or Alive 6. I so appreciate you guys being on the program. Meredith, thank you for co-hosting.
My pleasure.
With me. And everyone, thank you for watching at home. We have more coming up from our second day of PlayStation Live from E3. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us.
Just a girl, not a threat.
They're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
on now. Come on now, let's work. Come on now. Come on now, let's work.
If you see one of those things, you do not hesitate.
The oldest house is a shifting place. You can keep traveling deeper.
Come on now, let's work. Come on now, check it out. Come on now, let's work. Come on now, check it out. Come on now, let's work. Come on now, check it out. Come on now, let's work.